Welcome to Spartan Sports Beat. I'm Steve Bolson, bringing you the latest in the world of St. Thomas Aquinas College athletics. In this edition, we'll take a look at one of the newest members of the Stack Athletics Department, new men's head basketball coach Tobin Anderson. Tobin, welcome aboard, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Steve. Good to be here.
Tobin, you are in your first year as Stack men's basketball coach. Tell us a little bit first about your basketball background, where you started, and what led you to the bench at St. Thomas Aquinas.
It's a long story, Steve, but it's been quite a journey. I grew up in Iowa, in the Midwest. My father was a coach and a teacher, so I grew up in gyms since I was probably 3 years old enough to walk, and played for my father in high school, and grew up around basketball my whole life. And I actually went to the East Coast, played college basketball at Wesleyan, and I knew I wanted to coach from day one, and so. Started with the whole Division III as an assistant coach, sleeping on floors, sleeping on couches, make my way up that way. Became a head coach at Division III at Clarkson when I was 26 years old. So I was a young head coach and was there for 5 years. I went to Hamilton College for 7 years, Division III as well, and then went to Siena to be an assistant for 2 years. Tried the Division I thing for a couple of years, and I ended up at St. Thomas last spring, and the job came open. It was a good opportunity for me to go to a place where there's a chance to build a program and be part of a great school and a great. Jerry Oswald's a great guy, and happy to be here and build a program.
As you look at the path that took you here, the program has struggled in recent years. I don't think there's any secret to that. Do you feel that maybe put a little less or a little more pressure on you coming in as a rookie coach?
Well, I think it's the same old thing, Steve. The pressure you put is up on yourself. You want to win all the time. Like, no matter where you're at, what the situation is, you want to win. When I was at Clarkson, the team had not been 500 in 25 years. In our first year, we went 14-12. We went 500. So I've kind of been through this before, and I think that the lack of success recently. I mean, there's obviously a tradition years ago, but the lack of success recently. Kind of provides you a chance to come in and do your own thing and start from kind of fresh with a new foundation, a new theory, a new program, and build from the bottom up. And we're happy that we're headed in the direction we are right now, but there's still a lot of work to do.
You have an opportunity at this point to reflect on the better part of your first season at the helm. Start out with where you are right now on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you think the program is roughly in accordance with where you'd like it to be?
To be honest, I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule. I thought this year might be a situation where we might win 7-8 games and just try to find a way to be competitive and just to beat to be part of the mix and beat the really low teams and have a chance against the good teams. We've actually had we've done pretty well against the middle of the conference and below, and we've been right there with some of the better teams in the conference. So I think we're ahead of on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 6, but there's still a long ways to go. I mean, I think you want to get to the point where you can compete for conference championships, and I think right now we're not quite there overall, but we're definitely heading in the right direction.
In the scheme of your goals and program goals, where did you see realistically making the playoffs as being in terms of this season, in the context of this year?
Well, from day one with our guys, the first day we talked as a team, and I said to the guys, what's the playoff structurally? How does it work? And no one on the team knew how it worked because no one ever in our locker room had ever played the playoffs before. So it was the first time for me and the rest of the team as well as being in the playoffs. So we set a goal early on. Let's make the playoffs. And so we put the conference standings in our locker room. We talked about it from day one. Let's get in the postseason. Let's play in the playoffs. And so that was a big goal of ours. And I think to get there in our first year is a great accomplishment for the guys. And I'm happy for the older guys, especially like Sam Wilson, Omar Kelman, our seniors, Eli Maravich, who have not had a chance to play in the playoffs. It's their first opportunity. So I'm happy for them, and I think it's a great step going in the right direction.
And along with your coaching knowledge of tactics and personnel that you bring on to the sidelines, how much of a learning experience was it for you this year, learning the East Coast Conference, what the opponents and the coaches are all about?
That's a great point, Steve. It's all been new for us as far as learning how certain teams. I mean, I didn't know how to get to certain schools in our conference. I hadn't seen these gyms before. I knew most of the coaches, but I hadn't had a chance to play against their teams. So it's all been new for us. It's all been a learning experience. And at the end of the day, basketball is basketball. And if you get your guys to play hard and play together and play for each other, good things happen. So it was, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
And as you've brought that program into the direction that you feel better with, that I'm sure a lot of observers of the team have had a lot of fun watching the squad this year, what were some of your influences from the coaching standpoint? Who were some of the people that gave you some of the tools that you're implementing now on the Spartan bench?
Well, yeah, I've had a chance to be around a lot of great coaches. When your father's a coach and a teacher in the gym all the time, you're not only you're around him all the time, but you're around other guys who are coaches. And I was going to clinics when I was a little kid, going to see, I saw John Wooden speak when I was probably 7 years old. I saw Bob Knight speak when I was, in my lower teens. I mean, I had a chance to be around a lot of great coaches. I played for a a guy, Max Good. Max Good's the head coach of Loyola Marymount. And the press we run is kind of the press that he kind of, helped us, we played back then. So he was an influence for me too. And then I was a part of the 5-star basketball camp for a number of years, just around great coaches, Hubie Brown, Billy Donovan, Rick Pitino, all those guys who were kind of coming up. So it was a chance to be around some great coaches. But my father's been a big influence on me from just a standpoint of I was always around the game, and that's been a special thing for me.
Well, part of the coaching mission, if you will, is to not just look at where you are now, but where you're going in the future, program building, if you will. There's been a lot of that going on this year. What are your thoughts and what are you looking for as the program goes forward?
Well, I think we took the first step this year being competitive. Now it's a matter of, all right, let's now how do we go forward? I think that sometimes to be competitive might be the easiest step. Now, how do you get from being pretty good to being great? And we want to get to being great. We want to win conference championships, go to the NCAA tournament. So I think part of it is recruiting the right kind of, first of all, the guys in your program have to get better and buy into it and work hard. And that's been a lot of fun this year. Our guys have been great as far as doing the right things and working hard and buying into the program. Now it's a matter of getting some more guys to come with those guys. And I think just being in this league too, how athletic the league is, how big the league is, we have to get more guys that can compete, from a size standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, and that's our focus right now, recruiting-wise. And
you mentioned recruiting, and that is such a key.
Yep.
Now that you've been at St. Thomas Aquinas for almost a year, what is your pitch? What's your sales pitch to the recruits? What are you looking for in an athlete, and what are you selling them from St. Thomas Aquinas? What are you offering them to come here?
That's a great point, and a great question, Steve. I think the first thing we're trying to sell is a great school. And what drew me here is the people at St. Thomas Aquinas are great people. People I work for are wonderful people, professors. There's so many people on this campus who either went to school here or their family went to school here. So the community, the family atmosphere is fantastic. The location is great. You're talking about being 20 minutes from New York City. So we're close to Connecticut, New Jersey, New York City. We're close to the metropolitan area. We can recruit from a lot of different spots there. And then it's part of being part of something special. Have a chance to be a part of the foundation and build this program from the bottom up and let's get to the NCAA tournament. Let's go win a conference championship. Let's have a chance to go to the Elite Eight and play in a program where we're gonna press and run and play up tempo. I mean, guys want to play that kind of basketball. So we're trying to get guys who love to play, who love to be part of a team, and want to make big steps going forward.
Well, certainly the program has taken big steps forward this year, in large part thanks to the efforts of Tobin Anderson and his outstanding coaching staff. Coach, want to wish you the best of luck, not only this year and in the years to come.
Great, Steve. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Tobin Anderson, the head coach of the St. Thomas Aquinas College men's basketball team. And while we're on the subject, we're going to talk to a couple of the players that have made it happen in Aquinas Hall this year. Our next guest is going to be Stack graduate guard Eli Maravich. We're going to step aside and we'll be right back. This is Spartan Sports Beat. Welcome back to Spartan Sports Beat. Steve Balson here at Spartan Studios. Today the topic is men's basketball, and at this time we'd like to welcome in Spartan shooting guard Eli Maravich. Eli, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Eli, you're a graduate student now, but an unusual situation. You're in your first year at St. Thomas Aquinas and your only year at this point. Tell us about how the path you took. How did you end up here?
Well, I played 2 years at Division III basketball at Ithaca College, and I had a year eligibility left. And I actually, leading into August, I was looking for a job going into the professional world, and I got a call from Coach Anderson, and he said, I need a 2-guard, would you like to be the guy? You can get your master's. And it seemed too good to be true, so I couldn't pass it up and decided to take my talents here to Sparkill, New York.
You came and visited St. Thomas Aquinas. You spoke to Coach Anderson in person. What was it about you that said, hey, this is the place for me to make this move at this time?
I really liked the coaching staff. I actually didn't get to meet any of the players because it was so late. It was right before school, so everyone was still home. But I got to know the coaches pretty well, and I could tell Coach's style was the kind of style I like to play, up tempo, real serious, work hard, kind of mentality. And that's what I had in high school, and I kind of missed that at Ithaca. So I was really looking forward to what we could do here.
Well, you may or may not have noticed, if you're a fan of basketball, the surname. That would be Maravich. It's a pretty legendary name in the sport of basketball, and there is a connection and lineage there. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Pistol Pete Maravich, he's an NBA Hall of Famer, and he's my third cousin. It's a little distant, but it's still my blood, and it's just part of my basketball history, really. In AAU as a kid, other teams parents would come up and ask me, "Oh, are you related to Pistol Pete?" And it's kind of been funny. All my life, I've gotten stories from people how they remembered Pistol Pete and who he was to them. And unfortunately, he passed away in '88. I was born in '91, so I never got to meet him. But it's been pretty cool just having the name.
And for those who are of a certain age and do remember the playing days of Pistol Pete, for the New Orleans, not Utah Jazz, it makes a lot more sense when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
But being part of the Maravich family, and obviously there's a connection to you, it's not that distant that you don't feel it. Is there a certain sense of pride for you in carrying the Maravich name onto the hardwood now?
Oh, definitely. It's put a little bit of pressure on me at times, because everybody talks about it, really. I mean, they bring it up. But it's fun. I really have, a good time with it. And, I always tried to emulate him younger. I kind of got away from it as I got older, but I had the floppy hair back in college, and I think it was always something fun to mess around with.
Well, you are a three-point shooter, so perhaps that's a little bit in the blood, although you do tend to shoot from inside the gymnasium where Pete often shot from the parking lot. But let's talk a little bit about your first and only year as a Spartan. Reflect on this season. What has it been like for you, and what are your feelings on your final year as a collegiate player?
I'm definitely going to miss college basketball for sure. I'm going to miss the guys on the team. I built a lot of good relationship with the guys. It was tough at first, definitely. Coming in, we only had so many guys returning, and we had so many new faces. And it really was a challenge at first to get everybody to mesh, because obviously, nobody's ever played with each other before. And so it took a while to get our chemistry down and get everybody on the same page. But once we did, we really started competing for a while. And look at us now. We're kind of like a ragtag group thrown together. I came in August. That's right before school. And you look where we're at now, playing for a chance at the ECC title. I think we really did kind of beat expectations.
And I know early in the season, as everyone was still trying to get to know each other, I remember hearing you described as a cerebral type of player. Has there been any thought of maybe taking a dip into the coaching realm or continuing your basketball in that respect?
Yeah, a little bit, honestly. I have a friend who is an assistant at Cornell, and he always says if he makes it big, head coach, he wants me on his staff. And I kind of laugh at it, but I definitely would consider it. I like working with people. I like getting to know people, building relationships, especially with younger kids. So I guess once I'm older, they'll be younger. I could have kind of a mentor relationship with them. So I definitely would like to explore it a little bit. I'll keep it in the back of my head. Maybe if my buddy gets somewhere, Duke or NC, I'll hop on that quick.
Well, one never knows. Certainly you've made an impact in your 1 year here at St. Thomas Aquinas. And assuming that the fun and games of a basketball career do come to an end, what then? You've come here for your master's degree, and what's in the future for Eli Maravich?
Yeah, I'm going to move to New York City, I believe. And that's actually another great thing about being here. I've got to experience the city a lot, hang out with some friends over that way. And, I fell in love with the place. And I love Pittsburgh. It's probably my favorite place in the world. But I think while I'm young right now, I'm going to make a move to NYC and try and make it as a graphic designer. So definitely looking forward to that.
Well, Eli, if your brief tenure here at St. Thomas Aquinas is any indication, we expect nothing but the best for you, and we wish you good luck in the future.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Eli Maravich. Welcome back to Spartan Sports Beat. Today's topic of conversation is men's basketball, and at this time we're going to welcome in Stack freshman guard Chaz Watler. Chaz, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Chaz, this is your first year at St. Thomas Aquinas, your first year on the floor with the team. But tell us a little bit about where you started from, what were your high school days like, and how did you end up transitioning to St. Thomas Aquinas?
High school, I went to Archbishop Malloy High School. I played for the legendary coach Jack Curran. It was fun playing for him. It was fun. He taught me a lot. He really played a big role in my life, playing basketball. My junior year, I really didn't play that much, but he trusted me senior year, and he just pretty much gave me the keys to the car, as you would say. So he let me play my game, and recruiting was not that good. And I got a call from Coach Anderson one day, and he told me that he'd like me to take a visit. He offered me a scholarship, and when I came for my visit, I committed.
Well, we spoke with Coach Anderson earlier, and we talked about some of his basketball influences. Talk a little bit about what it was like to play for someone like Coach Curran. You obviously know his status when you get to play for him. What was it like for you at Archbishop Malloy? Such a formidable program.
It was humbling because he was a legend. So just to being his presence every day, just him teaching you, you know, giving us quotes every day after practice. The road to success is always under construction, you know, that never left my mind. So he always just taught us, you know, play hard, give it your all. So that's what I'm trying to do here at Stack.
And as well as playing for someone of that caliber who knows the game and who knows people as well, you're also a product of Brooklyn, and that kind of gives you a little bit of a different perspective on life. Do you think that's formed or shaped who you are, and how?
Oh, Brooklyn, you know, they produce the best basketball players. So, I mean, I feel that playing against all the best guys from growing up from a young age, you know, I think it really helped my game progress as I got older.
Has it been fun for you to see a professional sports franchise move there? I know the Nets were kind of transient for all those years. It was only the Knicks, but now you've got someone in your backyard. Have you become a Nets fan?
No,
You
not
can be
really.
honest about
Not
it.
really a Nets fan, but you know, it's always good to have something called, you know, home for us.
Well, that's fair enough. Chaz, now let's talk about this year for you for St. Thomas Aquinas. A little bit of a struggle the first couple of games getting used to the college game. What was that transition like for you getting on the hardwood as a collegiate player for the first time?
Oh man, it was pretty tough because it was way faster than high school. I'm not even gonna lie, it was way faster, and guys were way stronger, so I had to adapt to it, get a little stronger. But I'm used to it now.
Was there ever a question in your mind, or was it just a matter of you just knew you had to make the adjustments?
Yeah, it was just a matter of time. Like, when was I gonna make the adjustment?
Well, Chaz made a lot of adjustments, multiple-time East Coast Conference Rookie of the Week, and that added up to the recent announcement that Chaz was named as the East Coast Conference Rookie of the Year. So first, we want to congratulate you on that award, and what does that mean to you?
Thank you, and it's a great feeling. It's humbling to me because all the work that I've put in, Coach Anderson, you know, working me out every day, you know, the team out, my teammates pushing me, everybody just pushing me, wanting me to be the best, so it paid off.
And how important has it been, or what has it meant to you, to have such a leadership role as a freshman on a college squad? Because you did, over the course of the year, become a very important player in the Spartan offense.
At first, I felt it was a lot. It was a little too much for me to handle, but as the season went on and as I got more comfortable with the guys, I just started just taking on that leadership role.
Well, you have the perspective of being a freshman, so you have 3 years ahead of you with which to play for this Spartan program and Coach Anderson. What are some of the goals that you've set for yourself and that you'd like to see the team accomplish during the rest of your time here?
As a team, I would just like us to, you know, go to the playoffs, hopefully win a championship, go to the tournament, and win that championship too. So pretty much just, you know, win a championship and just get together like more as a family.
Finally, you're here. You've spent now a year at St. Thomas Aquinas as a college. Talk a little bit about how you feel about your academic progress here, and maybe some ideas of things you'd like to do after your basketball playing days are over.
Well, when I got to college, the transition was kind of, you know, hard from coming home every day to now living on my own. So I mean, I made the adjustment like I did with basketball, but academic-wise, it was pretty tough at first until I made the adjustment, but it paid out. So, yeah.
Well, Chaz has become a very important part of this team, as we mentioned, and again, want to congratulate you on your postseason honors and wish you the best of luck, not only this season, but in the years to come.
Thank you.
Chaz Wattler of the St. Thomas Aquinas College men's basketball team. And that wraps us up for this edition of Spartan Sports Beat. We'd like to thank our guests, men's basketball coach Tobin Anderson and players Eli Maravich and Chaz Wattler. And we'd also like to thank you for watching and hope you'll join us again next time. Spartan Sports Beat is a production of the St. Thomas Aquinas College Department of Athletics and JHP Productions. Until next time, from Spartan Studios, this is Steve Paulson saying so long from Spark Hill.